The rest of the blanks, where you can go ahead and find those online, because I want to jump to page 39 to keep driving and keeping the fire hydrant coming. And in just a minute, Matt Keller. Matt, you ready, man? Yeah, Matt Keller's coming out. Give Matt a hand as he comes.
All right. You guys, they gave me the after lunch session because they said, you're the energy guy, bring it. All right, so here's the deal. Page 39 is all about creative worship planning. Let me kind of introduce something to those of you, many of you who are not senior pastors or lead pastors in the room. It is a reality that's going to hit you as soon as you launch your church, because here's the deal. As a senior leader, as a lead pastor, it falls on your spirit, on your heart, on your responsibility to own what I call in my book, The Up the Middle Church, the monster of Sunday. That there is something that comes on you. Here's the deal. Like, you'll take 18 months to plan your first service. And then if you're anything like us, we went to Arby's to celebrate, and as soon as we sat down at Arby's with our 5, roast beefs for $5.95, we looked at each other and we go, we got to do this again in 7 days. Okay, listen, there is a pressure in church work that can be overwhelming. And so much of what we've done in the past, so much of what we've taught in the past has got to do with combating the monster of Sunday. And one of the ways you do that, how do you create creative, relevant, life-giving, funny, engaging, completely original, absolutely biblical, brand new 75 minutes of content every 7 days? That's the task. That's the job. There's no other industry in the world. The closest thing that would come to it would be like a late night host, like a David Letterman or a Jimmy Fallon or somebody like that. They have to create original content. Guys, listen, nobody in the industry, nobody, not Broadway, not television, not movies, has to do and live under the pressure we have to live under. And not only do we have to create all of that every 7 days, 168 hours, ready or not, here it comes, but, told you I'd bring the energy, but we have to pastor people, love people, make hospital visits, make sure that everybody's good, launch small groups, make sure the bulletin, there's no typos in that, make sure that our staff is happy, lead staff meeting, do all of those other, and love our kids, love our wife, do all of those things. Welcome to the ministry, baby. That's what we do, and here's the deal. We don't get paid very well to do it. I thought I'd get a better amen right there. Okay, so what do we do? What do we do? How do we combat the monster of Sunday? Well, I want to take just a few minutes and talk through a creative process that we've adapted at Next Level Church over several years ago, and that, thanks, I'm going to need that. The pen is mightier than the sword. That we adapted several years ago that I want to throw to you because we've been able to teach it to so many pastors and so many church planters across the country to help them get ahead. First of all, let me say this. I want to challenge you and encourage you, get ahead in message preparation, which, by the way, this part of your notes is right here, this white blank sheet. That's what we're on right now. And then I'll tell you when we go back to the fill-in. So this is my notes right here. We printed them beforehand for you. You got to get ahead in message prep. Listen, as a rule, I am 4 to 6 weeks ahead in message preparation to 80%. Write messages, learn to write messages to 80%. That will serve you so well, where you've got the generalized idea, the skeleton, the bones of the thing, so that week of, for me, Mondays are my writing day, Monday morning of, I can simply microwave a message that I wrote 4 or 6 weeks ago from 80% to 95%. And then my message is, by Monday at noon, my message is 95% locked in. This business of Thursday night at midnight or Saturday night at 10:30, you calling your video guy going, I got a great idea. Or us emailing, the secretary going, here's the bulletin notes for the fill in the blanks, Saturday afternoon or Saturday night. Let me just tell you something. I think it's sinful. I don't think we serve our teams well when we do that. So pastors, yeah, but Matt, what about the inspiration of the Holy Spirit? Is God not big enough to inspire us 4 to 6 weeks in advance? All right, I'm preaching now.
Can we have an altar call right now?
Bro, busted and disgusted, we're going over.
I feel convicted.
All right, come on, TD.
In the room.
Here we go. All right. So,
in the process, too, and I've asked Matt to drive through because he brings some creative energy. He's got a process, but I want to just tell you one thing. Whenever you're building a team, you do a lot of stuff with your paid staff, right? I mean, a lot of your creative, or do you bring volunteers?
No, it's all still 80% of it is volunteer driven.
Okay.
And I'll tell you how to do that.
And the big thing that I've learned in that whole, when you invite volunteers to the process, is initially invite them to a meeting, not to be on a team.
Yes.
Because if you invite them in to say, I need you on our creative team, and they go, that's great, and then they come and they're not as creative as you thought they were, or they don't bring the energy that you needed, or the chemistry wasn't right, then you have to uninvite them from the team.
Seriously.
And if they're just invited to a meeting, it's go, oh man, great job, thanks for coming, and never call them again. So that's huge. It's to save you some heartache on the front end. You're going to hit your process?
I'm going to hit it. Okay, so here comes the fire hydrant part. Ready? Here we go. What you want to do is you want to start out with the pastoral concept. So you and whoever your pastoral team or your leadership team that you would want to weigh in on your message concepts. So for us, we have what we call a wall of Sundays. A wall of Sundays, and it's a whiteboard like this that one of our people have gone through and put in the 12 months. And so you can see 52 Sundays. Let me give you my blog site. I actually wrote an article on this, and I posted it to my blog back in March. March the 7th is the date on it. It's a 3-part deal called Ready or Not. And March the 7th, my blog is mattkelleronline.com, mattkelleronline.com. So if you feel like I'm talking too fast, if it's not Micro Machines, it's not the real thing, you can go to my blog and you can read this article, and it's all there, mattkelleronline.com. So then what we do is we'll look at a wall of Sundays. So I can back away from it, see 12 months at a glance, 52 weeks. We're able to schedule in, here's Easter, here's, our school system spring break, here's Labor Day. We can know the rhythm of your calendar in your community. And so based on that, then we're going to look at 3 to 4 series. If we do call it 10 to 12 series in a calendar year, we will choose 3 of those that are your big series, what we would call one of our big 3 series. We do a big 3 series in the spring. We do a big 3 series in the summer. We usually launch it the weekend after July 4th weekend, however that falls. One of our big 3 outreach series of the year at Next Level Church is in the middle of the summer. And last year we grew by 100 people. This year we've grown by almost 200 people in the middle of the summer. So when everybody else is turning off, we turn it on, as somebody said yesterday. And then we do a big 3 series in the fall as well. So we've got 3 major, 7 or 8 or 9 minor series of the year. And based on a wall of Sundays, which again you can see a picture of it on mattkelleronline.com, you start to lay that out. So I'll get together with my pastoral team and I'll say, okay, where do we feel like our church is at? What Ron and Jim were talking about. Where are people at? Do we need to do a relationship series? Do we need to do a finance series? What are those things that in the next 3 to 4 months we need to hit? So we'll lay out pastorally some big concepts of what that looks like. Then from there, what we do is we call it a blue sky meeting. The sky's the limit. The blue sky meeting, and this is what Ron is talking about, where we will invite 12 to 15 volunteers. We'll have some of our staff there, production guys. We have TV people. We have, media people, teenagers, anybody in your world that's creative, and this is a one-time shot. Don't give a title. Just invite them to a meeting and promise them that you'll give them something to eat, and have candy and toys there, by the way. So at the blue sky meeting, then, when you invite 12 to 15 people there, what we're going to do is we're going to spend a Saturday off-site somewhere creative. We'll rent a condo at the beach or do something like that. Tell everyone to meet there. And so then we're going to lay out 3 to 4 series on a creative level. And I tell people right up front, when you hit a blue sky meeting, here's the deal. You're just here so that we can pimp your best ideas. Straight up, we just want the best ideas we can come up with. And then we've got our big giant white Post-it notes that are so great, and then someone will record it like on an iPad or one of those recording pens so we can listen back to the audio back to it. So this is, and again, here's what we tell people. There are no bad ideas, just bad people with ideas. So if your idea stinks, it's not your idea, it's you. That just sets everybody at ease, and away they go. So once we hit blue sky meeting, then we're going to just roll down through some things. And here's the reason why. Let me tell you the reason why. And as church planners, this is so absolutely important. It's all about generating buzz. And what Hal and the guys talked about this morning on the marketing side of things is so huge. Let me give you a definition of buzz. Buzz is positioning your people to have positive conversations about what God is doing at your church. Buzz is all about positive conversations. When a waitress has a pen, that's a positive conversation. When they get an invitation card and they meet somebody who's not a jerk and tip them well, that's a positive conversation. So what we're trying to do is, watch this, we're trying to use the creative elements of our church service to create and generate buzz and excitement, not hype, there's a difference, in our people internally. Because at the end of the day, the best, most valuable marketing tool we have is word of mouth. Every time, it's word of mouth. Word of mouth. It's the most inexpensive, most effective marketing tool you'll ever have in your church. And so if we can leverage the creative elements, especially around the Big 3 series, all of a sudden, here's what's happened at Next Level. Over the years, we're able to stand up a week or two in front of a big series and say, guys, this is one of our Big 3. So those people you've been investing in, those people that relationally, your neighbor, your coworker, your classmates, that you've been praying for and investing in, this is the series. This is the one. Get them to this series. We promise you, we are pulling out all of the stops, baby, and it's going to blow their mind. And I'm telling you, our church people get excited. Our church people get excited. And then for us, we don't do external mailers ever. We do internal mailers. And so for us, on internal mailer is this. Once you get going a few months, you're going to have a database of probably several hundred families or even several thousand families after you've been going for a time. You know who the best people to come to your church are? People who have already come. People who've already attended once or twice, but because they're unchurched, because they don't understand the idea that, oh, you really want me to come back again? That's not in the rhythm of their lifestyle. We do internal mailers for our 3 big series. And that positions people who go, oh, yeah, honey, check it out. They're doing something about marriage. That's cool. We should probably go to that. Boom. And it's a lot less money, and the potency of it is so much greater than cold interruption marketing from an external mailer standpoint. Does that make sense? So anyway, just some thoughts on that. So on the Saturday when we get together, 3 to 4 series, we're going to talk about, and I'm going to mine out from these 12 to 15 people that are in the room, I'm going to mine it out in 8 different areas. Ready? Here we go. Number 1 is title and tagline. And oftentimes, probably about 80% of the time, I'm going to come into the meeting with a title and a tagline. It's just easier. You can burn an hour trying to think up a good title and tagline and not offend anybody. So most of the time, we'll have that set. Secondly, then, is look and logo. Look and logo. What's the look? What's the feel? Do we really want, black ravens hanging from the stage? Like, what's the feel? I'm not saying it's bad.
I like them.
It's kind of scary at a nuts and bolts conference, but it's not bad. So we want to talk, okay, what's the logo look like? And we'll have a graphic designer there. And then I'm watching my staff, my team, who are going to be the ones who are in charge ultimately of designing the logo. And I'm like, okay, you got enough information? All right, keep moving. Boom. So then the third thing we're going to be looking at.
Can I throw one thing in here?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're driving fast, but I want on title and tagline for those of you who are not creative people. Yeah, you don't have Matt Keller's energy and creativity. Let me tell you a place to go as you're looking, Amazon.com.